Hello ladies and gentlemen, Panzer here, and it's time for another update on the Sombra ARG. Now, a lot of people are kind of fed up with how it's been going and so on, and like I said in the speculation video, that there was going to be something happening around the 1st of November, and true enough, something did happen. Now, a certain source within the Sombra ARG Discord discussion group, we have seen the release of some clues, and that's with regards to Lumerico. Now, for those who don't know, Lumerico is the company behind all the power plants, those pyramid things that you see in Dorado. So, that was sort of Sombra's home ground. I mean, we understand that she's from Mexico, but she has been involved in things to do with Lumerico before. So, what's actually happened is there was some puzzle solving going on and everything, and thanks to everybody at the Sombra ARG Discord and the game detectives who have worked this out, the trail eventually led to a bunch of emails back and forth between Lumerico employees, some fairly high up in the company in fact, and it was to do with the whole redevelopment of Dorado, together with the Vishkar Corporation and Lumerico itself. So there was something going on there behind the scenes. There's mentions of Satya, who was Symmetra's handler at the time when she was in Rio, and that's all kind of very sketchy sort of stuff. But what this has eventually led to, and we finally found the use for the Tracer code that was in the trailer back in the Summer Games update. That was used as a key to unlock a new bunch of emails and information. So, where we're at right now, we're looking at an entirely new Sombra Protocol. We're now looking at version 2.3 being initiated, and it seems to be talking about diverting Lumerico's ziggurat data towards the objective, and I'm not entirely sure what that's necessarily referring to, but it also talks about deciphering passwords, so it looks like a new hack is about to happen. And it specifically names VOLSKAYA Industries, which is, of course, based in Russia. That's the same VOLSKAYA map that you see in the game. That is actually VOLSKAYA Industries, or at least one of their main factories. So that's what we're looking at right now. So it's kind of just a waiting game, trying to see what the next step is. But there has been a lot of clues and a lot of puzzle solving in between the 1st of November and right now when I'm recording this. So this is a bit of a rushed video, a bit of a hurried video, because I do want to see where this goes from here. Now, what we're looking at from here is VOLSKAYA Industries. The first thing that's come out is something to do with the construction bureau Volsky and the server being overloaded, some sort of maintenance in progress. So it looks like maybe something related to a DDoS attack, perhaps? But it's a readout from the actual website itself. So, there has been an attack on VOLSKAYA here, and my speculation here is that the Lumerico ziggurats, in fact their networking system, might have actually been used as a sort of botnet to facilitate a large-scale DDoS attack against VOLSKAYA. Something that we see happening quite regularly, scarily enough, in real life. So, it seems to line up with sort of what hackers or those sorts of people are actually doing. But we're not entirely sure at this stage what Sombra's overall objective is. It doesn't seem to be particularly clear. The attack on Lumerico, sure, because, I mean, that is Dorado, that is Sombra's sort of home ground, and she might have an agenda and maybe a possible vendetta against Lumerico. But the attack on VOLSKAYA seems to be a bit random. I'm not entirely sure what the motive behind this is. Now, one thing I might speculate is that perhaps because VOLSKAYA is producing machines of war, that this could be a threat to whatever Sombra's future plans are. In fact, the fact that Russia is actively fighting Omnics at this stage could be a way of sort of dismantling sort of the forces for good, if you will. If Sombra turns out to be a villain, then this could be a preemptive strike. By halting VOLSKAYA's ability to produce anything that, you know, the good guys could use to fight back against a second Omnic crisis, that might actually make more strategic sense. So, not entirely sure what she's doing. It might be a preemptive attack, it might be just something seemingly random, but it definitely seems to be building up to something. Now, it has been speculated many times that Sombra and Talon, in fact, headed by Reaper, might be looking at starting a second Omnic crisis, and if all of this is leading up to that, and it seems to make sense if we're talking about a possible PvE mode in future, a wave survival mode or a horde survival mode in co-op, might make sense if a new Omnic crisis is happening. But what we have seen as well is the revelation that the Sombra ARG has been leading up to the present day in the game. Up until now, everything has actually been happening in the past. The leaks from Sombra, or through Lumerico by the leak emails, have actually showed the attack by Junkrat and Roadhog on the Bank of Dorado. So that has already happened in the game, yet we're only seeing this now in the emails, and if that's happening in the present day, then everything before that has to happen leading up to that. So by that logic, of course, it means what's happening now is going to be the progression for the future, or maybe leading up to further events that we haven't seen yet in the game, which may also be taking place concurrently. So I know this is all a little bit much to take in, but this is just me catching up on what's been happening, and I hope you found this informative in some way. Ultimately, it's just a matter of kind of figuring out what Sombra's next move is and what her overall plan is, and of course, I know everybody's really excited to see what she's going to be like in the game, but it doesn't appear that she's going to be out yet. The PTR server is back up again, and there's no trace really of Sombra. There is a spray logo as far as I know there, but it doesn't seem related to the ARG in general. So, at this stage, we're not going to see gameplay just yet, but it looks like the next few days are going to be very interesting indeed. And of course, with BlizzCon just around the corner, I'm pretty sure BlizzCon will be the place for something like this to be revealed. After all, it makes sense, coming from Blizzard's perspective, that they might just use a hyped-up big event to show off a, a similarly hyped-up character. But do let me know what you guys think. Is Sombra going to be revealed at BlizzCon? Or do you think BlizzCon might be the setup for something else? Let me know what you think down in the comments below, and don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. My name is Panzer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.